Hello, everyone. Hope you are well on this Monday afternoon. Another taco talk. I'm going to cover a couple of different things, and I also have an awesome verse towards the end to share with you, so you do want to stay tuned for that. It's a good one. It was a manic Monday, and it must be a full moon because, y'all, some of the stuff we see in here, society is in trouble. It really is. You just can't make some of this stuff up. You just can't make it up. That's another video for another day. I won't go into that. Okay, for this video, poking the bear. We just keep poking that bear to the east. And you're just walking us right into it. I think we're on the path to, at best, a conventional war with Russia. A thermonuclear power, y'all. They also have hypersonic missile technology that we have said we cannot stop. Go figure. But we are determined. It looks like our idiot leaders are determined to pick a fight and go to war with these guys. That's the only thing I can conclude, because if they weren't, they'd be talking to them. There's no diplomacy. There's no talk, or at least we don't hear of anything like diplomacy or a meeting coming together. Remember in the 80s when Reagan met Gorbachev, and I think it was Iceland, and they had these talks for days and days, and it seemed to really calm things down. We don't have any of that right now. It's just rhetoric. It's just more escalation. We're sending more money, more weapons, more threats coming both ways. It's going to come to a head. Today, I was seeing looking at some articles that several NATO and European Union members are considering sending troops to the Ukraine. Now, this came from the Slovakian Prime Minister. He said that NATO is preparing to send troops into Ukraine. Now, he stopped short of a timetable, and he didn't say, there was no mention of a clear role for them. However, if you have American and other NATO troops inside Ukraine, I mean, they're probably there, we're just not saying it, but if you officially put them in there, they become fair game. And I would absolutely expect Putin to also say that anything of NATO is fair game, including all of Europe and the United States mainland. All right. Also, there's talk of Ukraine joining NATO. This NATO chief, I forgot his name, he said it's not a matter of if, but when Ukraine is joined into NATO. Also, the Hungarian parliament approved a bill that allows or paves the way for Sweden to join NATO. Now, this will absolutely anger Putin. And now Putin has also said that that if Ukraine joins NATO and Sweden joins NATO, this could lead to a nuclear conflict. Direct kinetic conflict with the United States and NATO, the European countries. We're going to wake up one day. I've said this before, I know. We're going to wake up one morning, all hell is going to break loose, or have turned loose. And people are going to be shocked. By the way, we're running into people, I'm not going to go into detail, but people are totally oblivious. We were referring to the business that was going on down in Athens with the people that aren't supposed to be in the country. We'll put it that way. And these people are completely oblivious. And it's more than just not even keeping up with current events. It's like just turning a blind eye, head in the sand, blue pill all the way. Now, I'm not saying to be obsessed over this and just, stress yourself out, but we need to be watchful and keep up with what's going on. And Ms. Dawg is like, it's frustrating. And I hear from other people, it's frustrating. I have, other people are saying I have family members that still think I'm crazy and they're still not awake, even though all this stuff is going on, and they're not listening and they're not paying attention. I'm like, I'm done. It's not on you. It's not on us. If they're not waking up now, if they haven't woken up yet, they won't until that morning when they do literally wake up from the bed and everything in the world has changed. At that point, there will be a rude awakening, and they will be very angry. And actually, I think they will be very dangerous, depending on how much it affects us right here. Okay. Also, shifting gears a little bit, artificial intelligence I'm concerned about, and I'm not a techie, and I don't have a lot of knowledge about this, but I saw an article, OpenAI, Anthropic, and Meta, they used to be Facebook, AI models, they ran these AI models through simulated war games. And in most cases, if not every case, they chose violence and escalated to nuclear strikes in these war games, even in neutral scenarios. So they preferred to launch nuclear strikes in these war game tests. Now, that was purely setting up a scenario, several scenarios, and letting the AI be in charge. And they escalated it to the point to where it went nuclear. I know you're going to be like, Dawg, we have AI already. It's in marketing. I know, I get it. But my concern is that the role of artificial intelligence is going to keep escalating and brought higher and higher to a point to where it's making decisions. You hear about the unmanned missiles, the drones, and all that can be, and they might already be, I don't know, controlled by artificial intelligence to make decisions on targets and such. How dangerous is that? And what's to say it starts learning on its own, and depending on how it's been developed and programmed, that it's gonna, what target is it gonna choose? Maybe it's not the one the human intended. So that's a great concern to me. Not only on multiple levels, the danger level there, also taking a lot of jobs, a lot of industries. So again, I'm not a techie. I don't know a lot about it on that technical end, like I said, but it doesn't feel good. I don't get a good feeling. I get an evil feeling from it. I think it's absolutely evil. I really do. A lot of people tie it to, or have tied it to the Antichrist. Could be. Anyway, I wanted to mention that. Share your thoughts on AI and such. But again, going back to the people that are just oblivious, it's not. I know it's frustrating, and I know some of them can be family members. We deal with it too. But I'll a while back, I've stopped trying to educate / convince, because it's not going to work unless they have something happen to them personally, or they see something, or they finally come to it. They're gonna have to come to that on their own. It's not going to be you. You're not going to convince them, I would say, in almost every case. So don't stress about it. Okay, continue to do what we're doing. All right. Water, food, security, medical, and the most important, of course, is spiritual readiness. we just our leaders just keep bringing us closer to the brink, and it's obvious, like I said in the beginning, they want a war. And then the question is why. It could be for a lot of things. It could be the greed, the military-industrial complex, all the military contractors, and that. But if it has the possibility of escalating to nuclear, then I would think nobody wins, and that's in that case. I mean, if it stays conventional, okay, I can see that argument. But if it goes nuclear, then we're all done. I believe, unless it's just a limited nuclear. But then I think that could just get out of control and just really wipe out most everything. Anyway, share your thoughts on that. I'm going to go to the verse. It is from Psalm chapter 56, verse 3 says, "When I am afraid, I put my trust in you." Notice it says, when I'm afraid, because the Lord knows we are human. And even though in the Bible it talks all the time about, many times about, do not be afraid, do not fear, do not be anxious. But we are human. There are times when we are going to be afraid. I put my trust in you. Again, when you feel that fear, that anxiety rising, go in prayer. Go put your trust on the Lord, because he's not going to forsake us. He didn't promise us an easy time, but he did promise to be with us through it, all the way through it. Okay. And he will, and he is. So take that to the bank. All right. Again, share your thoughts. Let's keep preparing. Let's be safe out there. And like Stephen from Arkansas says, stay close to Jesus. Amen. See you soon.